Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is CraftyRia. Today I'm going to make 2 more recycled cards from the cards that my friend Kathy gave me at Goba. You can see the whole lot of them in my Happy Mail video just a couple of videos back. I chose these 2 because they're shaped differently and I thought they would be perfect for, these regular legal size envelopes that you can buy at the store, so you don't have to make fancy envelopes or order anything special. I'm sure we all have a box of these in our home. So I grabbed 2 of these because, as you can see, these cards would fit inside of them. This one is not exactly, it might be too big for it, but we can cut it down a little bit. So that would be a nice way to use some of these envelopes and not have to do anything special. So I chose these 2 cards because of their shape. I went ahead and made card backs for them, and I chose cream color paper to go with this one since I didn't think it looked too good on the stark white. And then I did use white for that one. I cut these down to be about 1/4 of an inch all around smaller than the envelope. Actually, it would be 1/4 of an inch smaller on 2 sides, or about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So you would just have to measure your envelopes. I folded the paper in half at 4 1/4 inches, and then I trimmed it down to fit my envelopes. And I'll tell you what the measurements are. It is 9 1/4 inches wide by 3 7/8 inches, or 9 1/4 inches tall by 3 7/8 inches wide. But again, you can just use your envelopes to measure yours, just in case they're not the exact size. So I'll set the envelopes aside for now. And let's go ahead and, I'll show you what else I pulled out for these 2 cards. I went ahead and got some of this tape, glitter tape. It's by American Crafts. I've had it for years. I have a whole bunch of it, and I thought this dark red would look good with this card. It's kind of a more primitive color. And then, of course, I have my trusty stickers from the Dollar Tree. I'm running out of these. I thought some of the snowflakes would look good up here. If you can, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but this card has a little dent in the top there, and I thought I would cover that with a sticker. And I also grabbed some of my junk mail that I keep in a stack. I love the holographic blue of this paper, and I thought it would look really good with this card. And even though there's a writing and a picture, the size of this card completely covers that, except for a few white dots at the top, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. So I thought that would be perfect for this card. So let's start with this snowman card. So in order to get it to go on the card, I'm going to have to make it a little bit thinner on the sides because I think it is a little bit too wide for this card. There won't be any matting showing. And I'm not going to mat it with anything else. It'll just be on this paper. This is a very thick cardstock. So I'm going to open it before I cut it. And the inside of this card is really nice. I definitely can use that sentiment on the inside of this card. So I will cut that sentiment out. And I will cut it down widthwise as well. Pretty much as close as I can get to it. Alright, and there we have the sentiment. And then I will decide how much I want to trim this card. This edge, this free edge, has a couple little pieces that need to be trimmed off. Sometimes the cards get a little bit of wear, and that's okay because you can trim them down. And I'm going to trim a little bit off this edge too, just to make the image more centered in the middle. I guess that's kind of silly to say centered in the middle. It's the same thing. Centered is the middle. Okay, there we go. And I think I'm going to leave the top and the bottom alone. Let me check and make sure it's not ragged. No, the edges look pretty good. And let me see with this tape, I want to put a piece at the top and the bottom, I think, just to take up, see, because there's a whole lot of that white space. Unless I just bring it to the top and make those three sides even and just put this down at the bottom. I think I'll do that because that actually works kind of nice and I don't have to do any more trimming. So I'm going to cut this tape out a little bigger than I need. And I don't know if you can see on camera, but these ornaments already have some glitter on them, and this Santa toy already has glitter, and there's glitter around this, so I don't think there's really anything else on this card that needs a whole lot of attention. I hate to cover up this guy in the middle. He's really cool. And since this is so long, I'm just going to put one piece of tape down the middle, just for good measure. And I'm going to kind of line it up the way I want it and just push it down. And then I will just put this across the bottom. And you know, I think we could call this card done. I sometimes think I overdo cards, but most people really just look at them once, hang them up, and throw them away. So it's almost a waste to go too crazy on them. Now I know some people will treasure them, but not everybody does, and that's okay. I send them because I like them, not because I feel my friends have to treasure them. It's nice if they do. So I just cut that end off, and to cut this one off and not to cut the fold of the card, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and just cut it that way. All right. Well, there we go. If I can get this to not stick to my fingers. Okay. And I think we're going to call that done. Since it already has glitter, it's matted because of the color of the background, and then it has more glitter tape at the bottom. I think that's pretty good. All right, I will set that one aside, and let's work on this other one. Now this card here was given to me also by Kathy. It's not signed, so I could use it the way it is, but you know, I can't do that. If you know me, I can't do that. So, and it's also kind of a flimsier, thinner cardstock, so it would be nice to have it matted onto something. Oh, I forgot to put this on the inside of that card. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. We'll do the insides after. All right, so for this here, let me see. I don't mind taking a little bit off of the width of it. Plus, it does have a little bit of funny creasing there. So I can go ahead and cut just a sliver off that left-hand side of the card. And then while I have this out, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cut this in case I want to use that owl image for something. I think that might be a good tag even. Cut that little edge off as well. We could make this like I could stamp to from here and then make that into just a cute gift tag for a present, which that would be kind of nice. I don't like to waste a lot of things. Sorry if my thing wasn't in the view. I think my camera's a little closer than I usually have it. And I will set this aside as well in case I decide to use it for something in the future. And then I have that for the inside of the card. So I want to see on here, I want to have enough room for this. So I might need to make my card a little bit skinnier, and I can take off some from the right side since I took a little piece off the left side. So I'll take a little bit off this right side. Yeah, and I think that would be good. Now I'm hoping it will still work for the width of this. Yes. I mean, just barely. You can see just the tip of this credit card on the end, but it doesn't, you can't really tell what it is. It just looks like a darker piece. So we're going to go with that. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. Because that's the measurement we know. We know we have to cover up this image in the middle. And I'm going to line it up with these words here because I don't want those words to show up. So that's going to be my most important piece to cover up. It's okay if a little bit of that credit card shows. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, a little bit of that credit card does show, but you really can't tell what it is. It just looks darker. So see there, you can use your junk mail. So I want to kind of get an eyeball and see about how much of this blue I want overhanging the edge, because I want to trim from side to side. So I'm going to trim starting with this left side. With just a little bit of an edge. I can always come back in and trim it more. And since I didn't put my card on perfectly straight, it is not perfectly straight. So I'm going to try my best to make another cut and straighten it out and have my card be lined up to be straight. Can you guys hear that? That's my bird. He is just singing a song. See, so it's like narrow here and wider there is what I cut off. And then I think that does look a little straighter. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to see from top to bottom. I'm going to need to make it more from top to bottom. Does that make sense? Make my cuts wider from top to bottom. And then I will cut this side to match the other side as best as I can. And that almost feels a little crooked again. Let's see if I can get that to be straighter. Okay, yep, that's a little bit better. And this advertising paper is very, very thin. So with the cutter like this, I like to start in the middle of the paper and then go up and down. So let's see how this looks. All right, I think that came out pretty cool. Not bad. I might keep this strip. I could probably do something else with it. So let me adhere this onto the backing, or onto the card base, I should say. And try to center it a little bit. I like that blue holographic paper. It is very pretty in person. I don't know if you can see it on camera like that, but it is gorgeous. So I have this little mark here, and I have these little white dots there that I might want to try to cover up. And I have these. I'm wondering if I could put, I think I could, put one of these snowflakes so it purposely covers those white dots at the top. And it'll also cover that. I'm going to turn it a little bit so I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Yeah, there we go. So that covers both things right there. And then I might want to do maybe a bigger one there. Use one of these bigger ones. I love these stickers, and I'm so sad that I'm almost out of them, and it's July, so I'm not going to be able to buy them until Christmas. And because I made that one go off the card, I'm going to make this one go off the card too. So it looks like I did it on purpose and not for any other weird reason. And then I think I'll put one down here. I just want to double check and make sure I don't want to put something else down there, like a snowman or that. No, I think I'll just do a, I almost called it a rainbow. I don't know where that came from. A snowflake down at the bottom. And again, I'll have it go off the edge a little bit. There. So we have 3 snowflakes. I like things in 3s. All right, so to do the middle of this card, or the inside, boy, I'm really having trouble trying to talk today. I wonder if it would fit on there. No. Well, it would if I did a trick. So if I cut this smaller, that blue paper would work. I can take a little bit off the top. There, that would be good. And I'm going to use something different to cut this. I'm going to use this guy because this paper's so thin, and to cut that little piece off is not really going to work very well. There. Yep, that'll be great. Perfect. Put a little tape on here. And then I will line it up in here again and chop it off. I knew that strip would come in handy. And then like the fonts will match, and the outside, it'll bring a little bit of that pretty blue onto the inside, so that'll be kind of nice. Okay, so that card is done. There we go, and I just need to put this on the inside of here. And normally I mat it on something, but I didn't think ahead today, and I don't really have anything handy to mat it on. It's not exactly the same color, so I'm going to go ahead and just put it in there like that. I think I'll show you a little trick what I'll do, just to make it a little more decorated on the inside. I don't want to make the width of this any wider anyway. I'm going to take a piece of this, and I will put that on the bottom of that to match the front of the card. This tape, sometimes it's really hard to get the backing off. The backing is clear, so once you realize that the backing is clear, it comes off a little bit easier. So I'm going to line that up. And I'm going to try very carefully to cut it to be the exact same size. Still a little too big. Let me see if I can't cut a little more off that edge. It's kind of hard to do. I need to get it right up in my face. There we go. Not bad. So it kind of brings that same idea from the front to the inside, and it makes it look kind of pretty on the inside. And it doesn't really add any bulk. So there we go. We have this card done. And with the inside. There we go. 2 cards done, a little different shape, but they'll go in readily available envelopes. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. I've got many more videos to come. If you make cards along with me, you'll have more than enough to send out for Christmas. If you like what you see, please give my video a thumbs up. I appreciate it, and leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You guys take care, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.